if you're watching this part of the video, hit me with a hashtag replay to let me know you were here. I'm Tanya, Blue Jay Vintage. I'm a decorative furniture painter, DIYer, antique booth owner, and avid outdoors woman. We started this windmill earlier today. So this is one of the panels. They're all just a tad different. So we started, these were Dollar Tree cookie sheets, and then we cut them from a pattern I made out of cardboard. They started out looking like this. I'm using 6 of them. So we painted them live earlier. I then used a clear spray paint and sealed them, because some of them have cinnamon on them to help give them that rusty look. So sprayed just one coat of clear coat on it, and now they are dry. So now I have a thought in my mind how we're gonna put it together. So we're gonna attempt it. So I'm gonna tilt you down. Let's see how we can make this work. So these are all of our blades. So we need to paint our sticks that are gonna hold these on, but also finish, this is gonna be the centerpiece. So this was an old saw blade that I glued half beads to, and then we did just a blend of like some brown and black, and the embroidery hoop we did the same way. So this I'm gonna attach to this. So let's do that. And then I wanna add a little copper metallic and then a little rust to this. But first, let's hope my glue gun is ready. I'm going to use hot glue and E6000 on this. So I probably should have put the E6000 on first. Hi, Miss Luann. Let's see if I can get this off. There we go. Since this is heavy metal and it's kind of what's gonna hold our whole piece together, I want this on there very, very well. So I'm just gonna hold it in place. Make sure the hot glue is going to hold it now. The E6000 is going to hold it forever. So, perfect. I didn't even take my tag off. Now, let's copper this up. Then we'll paint those. So we've got our copper, which I actually already have some in here. That should be enough. We'll get our black out just in case we need to go back over. So a peacock feather and then cactus rose. This is not going to take much paint at all. Oh, as I squirt out half the bottle. And then this is what's left of my dollar store sponge. It's a car washing sponge. So I'm just kind of dabbing all over the place just to get that rusty kind of patina. And then we'll get some copper in there. Just kind of sporadically get it on. I don't want too much, but you know, we need to know that this thing is rusty. Now, we'll get a little bit of black and just go over it all. We don't need a lot of black. A little bit of black, then we'll do a little bit of brown, and then this should be done. In fact, let's do a little more of this patina. bad. I want to tone it down a little bit more with some brown. And I'm actually just using the same sponge. It's just doing it on all different corners. And we'll just blend in some brown and black over all of this and just tone it down a little bit. Oops, let me get the brown in there. Different sponges would help. Okay, let's get a little more brown and a little more black. I'm liking where this is going. Okay, that is going to be the center of our windmill. So I'm just going to set that to the side, let that dry, and move this paint out of the way. We shouldn't need that. Oh, I don't need copper. These are the sticks that are actually going to hold the fan to the blade. Thanks, Miss Julie. So this one, I'm just going to use a Lysol wipe and a little bit of black and a little bit of brown and just kind of rub all over. Let's get a little more brown on there. I'm not a fan of this brown, but it's the only one I had. This one is is brown. It's just a little too light. That's why I've been mixing the black in. Making sure I'm getting all the way around. And I couldn't get anything delivered. And I want this finished. I have a dresser I need to start. I need this finished so I can move this table out of here. Oh, shoot. Good golly. Those are the spare skewers. These are the ones we want to use. So we're going to do a little bit of brown, and then we'll do a little bit of black. I wanted the base of the fan to be a little bit thicker. That's why I chose these instead of the skewers. But the skewers we're going to put on the back just to give those fans a little support to not kind of flop over. Okay, got that half done. Now we'll do the black over the brown. And I'll flip them, do a little more black. Maybe we'll just even add a little bit of that color to it. That's the peacock feather. To me, that just gives an instant, almost rusty patina. Okay. Now we'll do the other side. A little brown. Now a little black. A little more brown. So I'm just kind of muddling up the colors just to help it give it that old effect. Actually, I think that's okay. Some of the natural wood showing through, I think would be okay. If we get it together and I don't like it, then I can just repaint over that section. So here is the tricky part that I was just trying to figure out how we're gonna do this. Walk my hands off. Now this is gonna turn out to be pretty big. So let me make some room. We're gonna lay the whole thing out before we attach anything. Okay. Still got some sponges left. So here is the center. So I had placed them and I had counted 6. So let's put them back in their position and make sure color-wise I have everything where I want it. There and there. Here and here. So I think I want these two a little closer. I'm using the top of the embroidery hoop as kind of my guide as to what's on top. So just like that. Now I think I am also going to add some primitive, this is already rusty wire. I think in between. I just wanted to lay this out and see. I think that is cute. That would probably, let's see how wide we would want it from probably there to there. Instead of doing one big long piece, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more little pieces. There's 1, 2. Let's see. There's 3. One, 2, 3, 4. We need 6 total. I already lost count. It's like it's a Monday or something. Okay. 6 wires are cut. Now, because these are the thin cookie sheets, using the dowel, it's only really gonna come to here. So I was thinking of putting the skewer just to help it so it's not so floppy. So I'm gonna do them each individually. We want that there, and then I'm just gonna glue the skewer right next to it, just to give the fan some support. But I want this in the center. And then what I'm gonna do is kind of roll it. Just to roll it into place. So this part I'm not gonna put the E6000 on. I figured this part is easy just to glue back if I had to. Now, I'm gonna attach the wire, but I kind of want it a little straighter than it is. And for that, I'm gonna use popsicle sticks. I'm gonna cut one in half. These are the smaller ones from the Dollar Tree. I'm gonna cut one in half and then just use both of them to glue it into place. Just to hold that wire down. Nobody's gonna see the back side of this, so it doesn't matter how messy it gets. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, so now here's our first one. So then actually, we'll just go ahead and do this one. We'll do both of them on there. Getting about even. Just eyeballing it because I'm not that girl that measures. But I'm gonna hold it till it's secure because it's on foil, so you can't even see what I'm doing. And it's on very thin foil. So I don't want to move it around too much until this is secure. Okay. Now, ooh, can you see it? Oh, you can't see the wire on the tablecloth. So that's about where that's gonna go. Now, we'll start gluing. We want one of these. How far? Just trying to eyeball how far. Right about, I like this end better. So that one right about there, and then here's another skewer. And I don't want the skewer to show from the other side, so that's why I'm watching to make sure that I'm not too tall. Okay. Now, we're going to take our I'm going to pull this wire kind of tight. And flip it. It might be easier that way. Perfect. So while I have it flipped, I'll go ahead and do the other wire. Right about there. There's one and there's one. Whew. Okay. So far, got 2 blades. This wire does make it a little more difficult, and it might be easier to wait until it's ready to hang and then maybe flip it backwards and then attach the wire. That might be a little easier way. But I already started this way, so we're gonna just go for it. So now, let's get our skewer and our stem. I think right about there. A little bit of hot glue. Ooh, that's hot. Stuck my finger right in it. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try this. So I have just a silicone cutting mat. Thinking, we know where this is gonna go. Right about there. if I can do this upside down. Woo. And then just push it down on the mat. Let's see if that'll work. So I don't have to flip each one of them. Hey, what do you know? It kind of worked. Okay. Let's get this one. A little more glue. Okay, I think this is coming along pretty good. Just attaching it to that, what do you call it? That embroidery hoop. Okay, let's bring this over here. So I've got them here. I'm just trying to figure out how far I can stretch this wire. Don't want to push them away, so probably not very far. Hey, Miss Jill. We're gonna just attach it right about there, even though there's a lot of excess wire. Uh-oh, where's my other? There it is. I'm probably going to trim that one. It was just a little too long. Let's make sure it's attached. Okay. Now, we have a good start. So what I'm thinking, probably should have just done this to begin with. We're going to flip it upside down. So now we have the back side. These are all connected. Yeah, why didn't I think of this? Okay, so we need to get these attached. Another skewer just to help support it. And need another glue stick. Then we'll do our last one. Right about there. Okay. So if we put these kind of where they're going, okay, now we've got wire to attach. But I think as we're doing this, it's a little too long. So I'm just trimming them so they're not all exactly the same. And I keep bumping it. My big fat belly. Okay, right about there. So we'll put our wire and then our sticks. And then need some more sticks, it looks like. Unless it fell on the ground, I don't see it. Okay. So we need 2, 4, 6, 8 more. Gosh darn it. Come on. Okay. Now, we'll kind of bend our wire. Oh, you can't even see. Let me just attach it real quick. This thing is huge. It's a lot bigger than I expected to make, but I'm loving how it's turning out. So this is, if you're just joining, this is the back side. Once you see the front side, it'll kind of all make sense. Now, we need 2 more wires. Okay. And these are going to be a little shorter also. I think I've stretched this wire further down here than I did up at the top, which is fine. I don't think it's going to make a big difference. Let me just lay those wires. Make sure I got it long enough. Uh-oh. Oh, this one I might have cut too short. Okay, let's do this one first. I'm keeping my glue gun plugged in just because I need this glue really, really hot. If I take it off the charger for too long, it cools off too fast. There's that one. Okay, one more section. And then we can start attaching it to the base. That's where I had a few thoughts. I thought about drilling holes through the embroidery hoop, but that was really a little more entailed than I wanted to do. Like, where did all my... Here's one more. Okay, I guess I'm getting it together. I'm gonna do this little section right here. I cut it really short, so I gotta just do it as close as the edge as I can. I'll show you in just a second. Okay. As soon as it's dry. Now, those are all done. Okay. So, dang it, did it again. This is where I want them all. Oops, I pulled it out. So I was thinking E6000 and hot glue and maybe some twine. But let's just try the E6000 and hot glue first. So the E6000 will hold it good. The hot glue will hold it now. So this is the E6000. Get all of the sides in place. Then we'll hot glue. Then, fingers crossed, we flip it over and it works. Just doing a huge glob on the whole dowel. We'll give it a second to dry and harden a little bit. And then we're gonna flip it over and it's either all gonna fall apart or it's gonna work. This one I'm not too sure about. Not sure I got enough hot glue on there. Okay, oh, this one's sliding too. The wire, I think, needs to go on last. Get everything else in place, then put the wire on. That's kind of pulling everything from where it needs to go to harden with the glue. That would be my first suggestion. But I wanted to do this whole project live, so if it was a flop, here we are. This one's nice and sturdy. Just don't know if it's sturdy enough to flip it over yet. This one, I'm still not sure about. Okay, we're gonna hold it. Hold it and push it. I'm afraid to even slide it over for you to see. I think, but you can see right here, this is the embroidery hoop that the saw is glued to. So this is an embroidery hoop. That was just, I didn't think that the glue would hold to the back of the saw. So that was my thinking when I did that. It was just something, either drill through the embroidery hoop to get the dowels to slide in, or glue on top and then maybe use some twine to tie on. Okay. Somebody's texting you a lot. The moment of truth. Okay, fingers crossed. Oh, this one's not dry enough, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna flip it anyway. I'll just fix it from the other side. Ooh. Okay. So what popped? Let's see, where are we at? What popped? What is this? Oh, that's part of the glue. Wow, everything held in place except this one. I'm impressed. I thought for sure some of the wires would come unpopped. So this is the foil cookie sheet. This is a saw blade that we put half beads on top of an embroidery hoop with some dowels. I mean, you really can't get any less expensive than that. I'm gonna add a little more hot glue, and then the weight of this saw should hold that into place. Thanks, Miss Luann. I love how this turned out. So this is actually gonna go on the wall behind me. Once I can get it to dry, I'm gonna let the E6000 and hot glue all work itself and dry. And then once it's on the wall, you'll really be able to see these wires that are going around. But as we were doing it, I do think the wire should go on after you have the whole thing together. It would probably be easier. And I'm almost thinking maybe even something a little thicker and drilling through rather than gluing onto the back of that. Because I do want to do another one that's a little bit bigger blades, maybe this size, but a little bigger blades in wood. That would maybe be a half that could go on a mantle, not necessarily hang on a wall. So this was an experiment to see how it went, what I need to change. But I actually love it. So I'm gonna let it dry. Make sure nothing comes apart. And then once it's done, it's going on this wall and I'll take a picture for you guys. So when this is dry, I'm gonna move it and we'll probably start a dresser. We'll probably start it tomorrow. It's almost 6 here. So I appreciate y'all coming in for part 2. I will put a video together so everything is in one. And then when this is dry, I'll add if there were any tips or tricks that should have been done differently. But so far, doing the wire last, I think is the only one. But we'll see. When it's dry and it goes up on the wall, could all fall apart. Who knows? So thanks guys. Bye.